And welcome to this meeting of the Syracuse Planning Commission. We'll begin our public hearings in just a moment after we dispose of the minutes from our previous meeting. Minutes from the April 27th meeting have been distributed to the commission members in advance of this meeting, and I will ask now if there's a motion for action on those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the motion for the minutes? If not, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Minutes of the April 27th meeting are approved as distributed. As we move into the public hearing schedule, just a word to those who might be unfamiliar with our process. As each application is announced by a member of the staff, we ask that the applicant or their representative come to the podium in the front of the room, provide your name and address for the record, and then a brief summary of the application involved. Following any questions from the commission members, we will invite members of the public who wish to speak in favor of the application to do that. Again, coming to the podium, providing their name, address, and comments. And likewise, we will offer the public an opportunity to speak in opposition to the application. Where comments are offered in opposition, the applicant will be encouraged to return to address the comments made in opposition, to address the comments to the commission, not to the general audience. And we ask that all speakers, other than the applicant, keep their remarks to 3 minutes so that everyone has an opportunity to speak and share their views. So with that as a starting point, Jake, are we ready with our first, and no changes to the agenda, correct?
No changes.
Okay.
One old business item to start. It's with the major site plan review, MASPR-2026-13 for the new grocery store at 4141 South Salina Street in the CM Zone District. They are here to present a change in proposed times.
Great.
Or hours of operations. Somebody here for that?
Hi, I'm Jack Dana. I live at 3187 Bellevue Ave, and I'm here to speak on behalf of 2468 Group.
Might be able to lift that up so you don't have to bend over.
Okay. So we just want to, we're looking to change the operating hours of the grocery store from originally it was going to be 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And after some community feedback, we'd like to change it from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week.
And there was general consensus on that time frame?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I know we had discussed the last time the prospect of possibly changing them as a community outreach went forward, and you found out that there was desirability for different hours. And it certainly makes sense to have the earlier hours so that people could go before work. I'm just wondering in terms of how the community outreach is going and what might be a bigger concern if they wanted to extend them later in the evening because of the parking lot issue. So just wondering how that conversation is going.
So that was, my home office is doing the reaching out to the community, and I believe the grocer as well. Mm-hmm. I'm just their representative that's based out of Syracuse.
I see.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Other questions for the applicant?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
I do know Rhonda with Fawn. She's spearheading a lot of this for our
Right.
company with the community down there. So
Yep.
I just want to add that. So.
Understood. Thanks.
Okay, we're all set. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we,
I know we don't have this often, but so we already did seeker. We already decided on the project overall. This is just this governing body recognizing the ask for hours of operation adjustment. Somebody can make a motion to adopt those as presented, and you can vote if that's how you choose.
Okay. Great. Good.
is there such a motion?
In consideration of the application, the staff analysis, and the discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application MASRP 2026-13 as presented with the change of hours. There are 6 conditions attached to the approval, and those 6 conditions are the same conditions that existed last time. One is the applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval for all site plan applications. Two, the parking lot and lighting systems shall be fixed and maintained, including parking lot striping, before the grocery store commences operation. Three, snow storage shall be maintained on-site in a designated area and it shall not encroach into the public right-of-way or adjacent properties. Four, all on-site alcohol, tobacco, and lottery services shall be properly licensed prior to being sold. Five, the proposed business shall strictly follow the operation hours, which has been deemed appropriate by the Planning Commission. And those are the new hours from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Sunday. And six, all loading or unloading activities shall take place between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 p.m.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion on the motion before us? Okay, if not, then all...
Second. You need a second? Oh, you got a second. Sorry.
Got it.
It's okay.
A simple update, as it was. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Major site plan review for MASPR 2026-13 is approved. That takes care of our old business. Onward to the new business.
Yes, first up is a re-subdivision, R-2026-34 at 500-02 Tallman Street, owned by the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation in the R5 Zone District.
Thank you very much. I'm Caitlin Wright, representing the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation. We're located at 1941 South Salina Street. As you can see from the diagram here, this existing parcel is kind of unusual. It's L-shaped, and what we're proposing to do is to separate it out into two pieces. One facing Tallman at the corner, 500 Tallman, will be 110 feet deep and 52 feet wide, and the other immediately north, facing Midland, will be 132 feet deep and 50 feet wide. And our plan is to put a single-family house on each of those parcels. With those dimensions, we'll be able to put the house, a driveway, and a detached one-car garage, and won't require any area variances. These will all be sold to owner-occupants between 60 and 120% of area median income.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant?
Yeah, I just have one question. The map that's up there, just out of curiosity, I'm not sure I understand what the exemption means for that dotted block right in the middle. Do you have any idea?
It's not part of our parcel, and it's accepted out of the legal description. It seems like multiple parcels were merged many, many years ago and then separated again. It belongs to the person immediately west of us.
Okay, right. Okay.
I'm not sure why they're showing it on there.
Okay, thank you.
I do also have renderings and floor plans of the homes that are going to be built there, if you're curious.
Oh, great.
We're curious. Thank you.
Should note that the land bank also owns two more parcels immediately north of this, so we will be building a total of 4 at this corner. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward, provide your name, address, and comments.
Hey, Walt Dixie, Jubilee Homes of Syracuse. You need my address too? You did you have my address? Oh, 119 South Ave, Syracuse, New York. So Jubilee Homes and Land Bank has a long history, tradition of working together, collaborative. As you know, this is an area that we've been building homes, not particularly in that block, Aggie Lanes block we call it, but it'll be a positive addition as we're working with the land bank to build 40 additional homes on top of the 50 she's building. So I'm sure the city likes that tax increase, so we're going to help get the tax increase in the city of Syracuse. Just thank you for all the support you give her, what she's doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Other individuals who wish to speak, excuse me, who wish to speak in favor of this application, please come forward. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward, provide your name, address, and comments. We appear to have no additional speakers, so we'll close public comment on this and turn our attention to our seeker review.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Thank you both. Discussion on this motion. If there is no discussion, all in favor of the seeker motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries, and we turn our attention now to the re-subdivision itself for R 2026-34. Is there a motion for action on this item?
In due consideration of the application, staff analysis, and a discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application R-2026-34 as presented with one condition. That condition being that the applicant must file the map in the Onondaga County Clerk's office within 62 days of the re-subdivision approval.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on this motion for the re-subdivision. If there is no discussion, all those in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The re-subdivision for R 2026-34 is approved. Our next re-subdivision, please.
Next up, very similar, R-2026-35 at 225 and 229 Crawley Street. Also the land bank, this is in the R1 zone district.
Thank you. Again, Caitlin Wright, representing the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation. What we're proposing to do here, it's actually already 2 parcels, and we're just moving the lot line 8 feet to the south. Can't tell from this map, but the southern end of the parcel is really steeply sloped. So this will leave us with 2 approximately equal-sized 72-foot sections that are level, and then the southern one has a slope in addition. And these will be, 2 single-family homes, the same model that's before you.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant?
Yeah, so just to be clear, the dotted line is the old property line, or the current
Correct.
property line, and the solid line will be the re-sub line?
Correct.
Thank you.
Further questions? Thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward, provide your name, address, and comments.
Walt Dixie, Jubilee Homes Director, 119 South Ave. Again, I'll do shorter. We stand behind Caitlin. Hope you support this project.
Thank you. Other individuals wishing to speak in favor of this application, please come forward. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application? We apparently have no further speakers, so we'll close public comment, turn our attention to our seeker review for this application.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative declaration?
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the seeker motion. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The seeker motion carries, and we turn our attention to the re-subdivision itself, R 2026-35. Is there a motion for action here?
In consideration of the application, staff analysis, and the discussion during this meeting, I make a motion to approve application R-2026-35 as presented with one condition. That condition being that the applicant shall successfully file the re-subdivision map with the county clerk's office within 62 days of approval of the re-subdivision.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on this motion for the re-subdivision. If not, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? R 2026-35 is approved. We move to our next application.
Next is a re-subdivision with a proposed zoning map amendment to avoid a split lot, split zone parcel. So R-2026-38 is the re-subdivision with companion zoning map amendment Z-2921 at 205-07 Hudson and 209-15 Hudson. One property, the Hudson 205, is owned by the Land Bank in the R5, and John Rodriguez, owner applicant of 209-15. The first parcel's in R5, the second one is R2 currently.
To R2. R2.
Thank you. The Caitlin Wright, Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation. The property we're selling at 205 Hudson Street is only 33 feet by 90 feet, so it's rather small, and it is also located in the 100-year floodplain, and so for that reason, we don't believe it's likely that it will ever be built on. In those cases, we offer the property to both neighbors, typically. In this case, the other neighboring property to the north is a boarded-up, vacant, abandoned house. The neighbor to the south, who's buying the lot from us, is an owner-occupant. He lives at 209-15 Hudson, and really already kind of treats this like it's part of his yard, so I don't think the neighbors will notice any visible difference.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant?
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? This is,
Well, Walt Dixie, Jubilee Homes of Syracuse, 119 South Ave. In the across the street on the 7th block of South Ave, we're building a 9% tax credit project. Just that you guys have been supportive of this. You know, last year, this summer, we unfortunately did not receive it. We came in fourth. The top three got it, but they felt very strong for first applicant. We did well. So we're going to reapply this summer, but anything being built behind this building is a positive. Particularly that block needs a lot of work, so I commend Mr. Rodriguez. He's preserving the land anyway, so it's a good that he's taking the ownership to want to now own the land. So we're fully supporting that. Thank you.
thank you. Other individuals who wish to speak in favor of this application, please come forward. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. Provide your name, address, and comments. I see no one rising to speak on this, so we'll close public comment. Turn our attention to the seeker review. And we'll do that first, the seeker review.
Yeah, we'll do seeker for both, and then each item individually. Just a reminder, the zoning map amendment is
Going to the council.
Yep. And then just special attention to the proposed recommended conditions of approval upon adoption by the council is the start date or the trigger date for that. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Second.
Thank you both. Discussion on this motion? If not, all in favor of the seeker motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The seeker motion carries. And we now turn our attention to the re-subdivision that we can act upon, and then the map change will take the form of a recommendation going to the common council for final disposition. Is there a motion for the re-subdivision?
In consideration of application, staff analysis, and the decision During a discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application R-2026-38 as presented with two conditions. One, the applicant shall successfully file maps at the Onondaga County Clerk's Office of the companion re-subdivision application R-2026-38 within 62 days of approval of the Common Council approval of the companion application Z-2921, which we are going to consider next. And two, the applicant shall apply for a fence permit before installing a new fence.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on this motion for the re-subdivision. If not, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The re-subdivision R 2026-38 is approved, and we now turn our attention to the zoning map amendment. Is there a motion for action on this?
In consideration of the application, staff analysis, and discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application Z-2921 as presented with a recommendation to the Common Council for affirmative action and one condition, that condition being that the applicant shall successfully file the map, the zoning map Z-2921 and the accompanying re-subdivision R-2026-38 at the Onondaga County Clerk's Office within 62 days of approval of the Z-2921 zoning map amendment.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you both. Seconds, 2 seconds. Discussion on this motion now before us. This is for the zoning map amendment. If there is no discussion, then all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? So this action we just took will now be transmitted to the council for in the form of a recommendation for final disposition by the council. Our next application, please.
All right, next up is a large project with 3 companion pieces. We're calling it the Housing Visions Headquarters Project. I'll tee it up, but the applicant will present 3 companion applications, 2 major site plan reviews, and a re-subdivision. At this meeting, the Planning Commission will only review the major site plan reviews and re-subdivision applications and deliberate on the declaration for seeker review. Then following BZA, we'll hold a public hearing to decide on companion area variance application as the applicant seeks to obtain the variance for the site plan review and resub. So we're only going to do seeker, and then we'll go through, we'll have them present the 3. So there's a major site plan review for the office building, a major site plan review for mixed-use building, and a re-subdivision. So this is at 1201 East Fayette Street in Walnut and 210 Pine Street in East Fayette Street in the MX4 Zone District. It's MASPR 2026-14, 2026-16, and R-2026-27.
Easy for you to say.
Yes.
The applicant
we can.
here.
Yep.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Daniela Kimoski. I'm representing East Side Business Center at 1201 East Fayette Street, Syracuse, New York.
I'm Tim Geyer with Passer Associates, an architecture and engineering firm representing the owner.
So we're here in front of you guys as we are planning to redevelop our parcel of land that we own on the east side of town. We've been over there for many years now, so we believe it's time for redevelopment. Our building has deteriorated over time. We need a new HVAC system in the complex itself, and without doing all the capital improvements, we decided this would probably be a better course of action for the site itself. So we're looking to demo the current building that we have on site and build 2 new buildings on 2 separate parcels, which we just subdivided. One of it will be our office headquarters for Housing Visions. We'll house all our corporate offices in there. And the other building will be a new 144-unit complex with 1 and 2 bedroom units. All will be for workforce housing. So we are in the beginning stage of all our financing for this. This will go in front of New York State Homes and Community Renewal for an allocation of 4% tax credits along with taxes and bonds. And I mean, I can go more into details of the project. I'm not sure how ones, twos, and so on and so forth.
That's good so far. Do you want to add something as well?
The residential building is actually a mixed-use.
Mixed-use, sorry.
Building. It has commercial space in there as well.
So the commercial space will actually house us, our Connect arm of our operations will provide services to the community.
And the project entails the entire block, Fayette,
does,
Pine,
yes.
and so on, Washington. and-
correct.
Okay. Okay, all right. Let's see if we have some questions. I saw some movement on both sides here.
Yeah, well, I'm just, I mean, this is obviously a very complicated project. I'm just wondering the timing of the various components of this. How do you see that playing out? I mean, assuming if you're going to go to the BZA at the next meeting, and then you come back to us 3 weeks from tonight, that's good if that all works. Moving forward from there, what's the timing look like for the
So
project?
from there, once we get approvals from the boards, we will start with our schematic designs of the complex. So the way the process works on this side of the house with HCR, on the 4%, you have to have all your approvals on hand before you submit to them an application. So you submit preliminary project information with preliminary plans, and then if they like the project, they'll continue working with you as we finish developing into the point of we get to 50% construction drawings. And that's when you submit the full-blown application. We work with assessment on the taxes and the shelter rental agreement for the property as well. So in reality, we're probably not looking to break ground on this until like 2028, once we get through all the process and approvals and the state's process as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what I was expecting. Okay.
I mean, if we could do it faster, we will.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we have some individuals in the office who, want AC and heat. Well, I have AC and heat, others don't, but,
Further questions for the applicants?
So on the 4%, are you planning a December application? What round are you thinking about?
So the 4% run a little bit differently, so they're not like the 9%. The 9% have their set target date, which was probably the fall again this year on September.
Right.
This is kind of like on a rolling deadline.
Okay.
So if we
So they're gonna-
submit, so we probably submit an application next year sometimes in probably first quarter of 27
Okay. Okay.
to the agency.
And your total mixed-use space in that building will be occupied by an affiliation of yours?
Correct, yes. And we also will have property management offices in the building for the tenants with community space
Yep.
as well. Yep. And we're also planning, right now, if you look at the site plans, we are planning a playground in there, but we are talking with the city because I know we have the park. So we just have to align the two projects together because the state does require us to have a playground for the kids. So if we can't get if the other projects will move forward the same timeline as our project, we would have to add in the playground for ours.
And you're going to the BZA because you're proposing only 2 floors rather than 3, and you couldn't
Correct.
get anyone interested in a 3rd floor office? That
Well,
could be a
it's-
really big office.
It is a pretty big office, the way it's actually kind of laid out right now. And we just felt the 2-story, given all our other properties across the street, we are aware that we can go up 3 stories, but looking at construction costs on a 3-story building and other factors, we are looking to do geothermal on the site as well. So we would have geothermal. So we're trying to be very energy efficient and cost conscious when we're building this. And we all know the state only has so many resources available as well. So we're just trying to balance all aspects of the projects together.
I was half joking, but good for you for being
Oh, no, I was joking
prudent
too,
with
but
your
if you look at the
resources.
Third floor, my department will be on the 3rd floor. We'll have a great balcony up there, but
So that'll be geothermal for both buildings?
Yes.
Yeah. And you've got to do the full job?
yeah.
Thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward. There are 3 applications, I should say. And provide your name, address, and comments. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. I don't see anyone rising to speak. We will pause, but not close our public comments here because we will return to these items later. But we will consider our environmental review.
All right, so I'm going to try to walk you through this as efficiently as possible. So included in the packet is the full environmental assessment form, part 1, part 2, and form part 3. And we've gone through the 18 impacts indicated in the part 2, 17. Staff is suggesting that the board recommend that you check no. So I'm going to go through those 17 first and then ask you if you agree with that determination, and then we'll go through the one recommendation that's yes at the end, and then a conclusion after that. So if you're really want to say yes instead of no to any of the 17, stop me, but I'm not going to ask you each time if you agree 17 times. I'm going to wait till the end. Okay. And there's also a summary of proposed actions or reasons supporting the determinations of significance for the 18 questions. All right, so the full environmental assessment form, part 2, has been pre-filled with suggestions from staff. As I said, I'm going to walk you through and see if you agree with those suggestions. Among the 18 impacts indicated in part 2, staff recommend that you check under A, no to impact on geological features, as there are no unique geological features and no designated national natural landmarks on the project site. B, that you check no to impact on surface water, as there is no wetlands or other surface water bodies that exist on or adjacent to the property. Stormwater management systems and areas will be designated on the project site to prevent stormwater generated by the action flowing into nearby properties. Per the SWIP, the on-site stormwater runoffs will be significantly decreased. The action will be served by existing water infrastructure instead of withdrawing water from surface water. On to C, that you check no to impact on groundwater, as the action will not result in any new or additional use of groundwater. To D, that you select no to impact on flooding, as the action will not result in development on land subject to flooding. E, that you select no to impact on air, as the action will not include a state-regulated air emission source and will not require federal or state air emission permits. F, that you check no to impacts on plants and animals. The site does not contain any threatened or endangered species or identify any habitat, and there is no national natural landmark on this site. G, that you check no to impact on agricultural resources, as there are no agricultural resources on the project site. H, that you select no to impact on aesthetic resources, as the action is not located near any scenic or aesthetic resources. I, that you select no to impact on historic and archaeological resources. The action will not be substantially contiguous to the NR eligible property nor designated as sensitive for archaeological sites or any features. J, no to impact on open space and recreation, as no designated open spaces or recreational resources will be displaced by the action. K, that you select no to impact on critical environmental areas, as the project site does not contain a critical environmental area. L, that you select no to impact on transportation per the traffic impact assessment, or TIA. The fully built project is expected to generate 43 additional AM peak hour trips and 46 PM peak hour trips. Parking lot access from East Washington Street will minimize impacts on the nearby East Fayette Street and Pine Street intersection. The project will not significantly affect transit, pedestrian, or bicycle access, nor create new traffic patterns. Based on the projected traffic volumes, it is not meeting the threshold of requirement of a full traffic impact study, or TIS. Therefore, the action is highly unlikely to have any potential significant adverse impact on transportation. On to M, that you select no to impact on energy, as the action will not require a new or an update to an existing substation, and the action will not place in an already urbanized area with existing electricity infrastructure. To N, that you select no to impact on noise, odor, and light, as the action will comply with the City of Syracuse noise ordinance to mitigate noise impact. Will add new outdoor lighting, but will comply with the Syracuse zoning ordinance, which prohibits light shining onto adjoining or adjacent properties and will not result in having lighting creating sky glow brighter than existing area conditions. The action will not result in generating odors or fumes during operations. On to O, that you select no to impact on human health as no blasting is proposed. The project site does not have a history of contamination or spills, and solid waste generated will be managed by following all state, federal, and local laws and regulations. P, that you select no to consistency with community plans as the action is consistent with most development standards of the MX4 zone district. The proposed structure is in violation of zoning requirements for the minimum building story for the office building. The applicant has submitted a variance application to the Office of Zoning Administration to seek relief from this zoning requirement. If the variance application is denied, the proposed structure will be required to fully comply with the zoning ordinance. The surrounding properties are occupied by medium to high-density residential housing, commercial buildings, health institutions, and municipal parks. The proposed land use is not in sharp contrast to surrounding land use patterns. And for the 17th one, Q, that you select no to consistency with community character as the action will not replace or eliminate existing facilities, structures, or areas of historic importance to the community. It will not create a demand for additional community services, will not interfere with the use or enjoyment of official public resources, is designed to be consistent with the predominant architectural scale and character of the surrounding properties, and the action will reuse the lands to create massive affordable housing. So, therefore, staff has determined that the action is highly unlikely to have a significant adverse impact on the above 17 aspects I just mentioned. Does the board agree?
Yes.
All right. One more to go. Where the staff does recommend that you check yes is on impact on land. The action does involve construction and physical alteration of land. Therefore, we recommend the board answer this question yes. Does the board agree?
Yes.
The sub-questions A through G are asking about the depth to water table, slope of the site, exposed bedrock, excavation and removal of natural materials, potential erosions, duration of the construction, and if the action is in a coastal erosion hazard area. Based on the information provided in the Part 1 FEAF and the response letter and the supplementary materials, the action will not involve construction on land with shallow water table, steep slopes, shallow bedrocks, or within a coastal erosion hazard area. Also, no excavation, mining, or dredging is proposed in this action, and a stormwater management system has been designed and will be installed. Therefore, I recommend you check no or small impact to sub-questions A, B, C, D, F, and G. Does the board agree?
Yes.
And lastly, for subsection E, it indicates that the project is anticipated to be completed within 24 months. The long-term construction triggers concerns on noise, impact on nearby properties. Per the response, the action will comply with the City of Syracuse noise ordinance to mitigate noise impact during construction. Therefore, I recommend you check no or small impact for the sub-questions C and E. Does the board agree?
Yes.
In conclusion, the Commission, as lead agency in this coordinated review under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has thoroughly reviewed all relevant materials, has taken a hard look and analyzed all aspects of the action. For all the reasons set forth above, the Commission determines that the action will not have any significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared. Accordingly, the Commission issues a negative declaration to be filed, and notice of this negative declaration will be provided pursuant to all applicable laws and regulations. And we're done.
Thank you. Okay, since we went through that item by item, it does not require a motion, I believe. Bypass.
Questions kind of walked you through it, and you all agreed, so.
Just for clarification. So that's the seeker review for these three items. The substantive parts will come back to this body following action by the Board of Zoning Appeals on the variance. And just so that everyone knows, when those come back, whether it's our next meeting or some subsequent meeting, there'll be public notification again, correct, on those items?
Yeah, we'll notice it again.
Okay.
Hey, just for the folks in the audience, the next BZA meeting, if you're interested, should be June the 4th, and the next CPC meeting should be June the 8th, if it proceeds on that schedule.
Great, thank you very much for that. Our next application, please.
Next up is a special use permit, SP 2026-9 at 307 Regal Street. Owner 307 Regal Street LLC, applicant Rob Bidwell. This is in the MX2 zone district.
Hello,
Evening.
my name's Rob Bidwell. I live at 404 Darrow Ave, and I'm the applicant for the special permit.
You want to walk us through just what it is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Overview.
So we bought the building a year and a half ago. We currently use part of the building as our landing space for our sauce. Sal's Birdland has been around for 51 years. We're bringing it back into Syracuse with its standalone store, and we're going to take half of that building and make it a takeout delivery unit restaurant.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant?
So I assume Birdland is a reference to chickens and not the Jazz Club in New York City?
Say that again?
I assume Birdland is a reference to the chickens that you serve and not the Jazz Club in New York City?
Correct.
I have a question about the 206 Greenway Avenue extension property that's going to be used for parking. Do you own that property, or?
So is that the east of the building or west of the building?
It's west,
West. So yes,
yes.
yes. There's 3 lots actually
Uh-huh.
when we bought. So we own 40 feet of the grass area going east, and then we own the whole parking lot going to the corner
Right,
to the
okay.
west.
Okay, good. So there is a recommendation or a condition that you, at some point, you need to do a re-subdivision for the parking area on Greenway so that all the parking will be on the same parcel that the business is on? Were you aware?
Does that matter when you own?
Yes, it still matters.
Why does that matter?
Because the properties are a different designation? No, they're not.
So
I'm trying to hear.
typically, we
Right.
require that they be re-subdivided, so you can't split off and lose any required parking.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense. Like I said, it just didn't make any
yeah,
sense.
so all you would have to do is just agree that you would get a surveyor to file a new map and then go through the process to re-subdivide into one property. You could also choose to split it up differently, I suppose, because the 206 Greenway is
Big
quite,
parcel.
quite
It's a big-
large.
it's a
but
big parcel.
That's totally up to you, but that's the
Yeah, I was
reason
gonna say,
why.
Yeah.
I would love it if we used all that parking, but
Right.
I don't see that happening. It's
Right.
mostly, there's no sit down, so it's really pick up, take out to go
Right.
in and out and move along.
But when you do the re-subdivision, that allows up the free land on the other part of that for whatever purpose you might want to do in the future. So I was just a little curious. I mean, I guess in terms of your business plan, you don't really anticipate any walk-in business because that road
No.
is kind of a,
Yeah.
it's an
No.
unusual location.
No. When I bought the property, I had this great vision that it would be a billboard, you know, for the business. But since the 81, now they're putting noise barriers up. So I'm a little
So you won't even be able to
miffed
see it
on
from
that.
690.
Yeah, so my signage might have to go up higher.
Further questions?
I just have one quick question. There's some indication in the application for seating outside. I assumed in reading that that's not served meals, that's waiting for my pickup. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
we're gonna so
Okay.
we put our grease trap in the ground outside, okay? So we can't park a car on there, that's why we didn't use the 2 parkings up front. So we have to put rock around it, and to me, I was like, I'll put a couple picnic tables for people to wait, you know, for their order if it's not prepared.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward. Provide your name, address, and comments. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. I don't see any additional speakers, so we'll close public comment on this. Turn our attention to the seeker review.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative secret declaration?
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Discussion on the seeker motion. If not, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries. We turn our attention now to the special use permit, SP 2026-9. And as with all special use permits, our action on this item becomes a recommendation to the Common Council for a final determination. So is there a motion for action on this special use permit application?
In consideration of the application, staff analysis, and the discussion during this hearing, I make a motion finding the application SP-2026 in compliance with the special use permit criteria in section 5-.4-B, 7A through H, and recommend approval by the Common Council with the following 8 conditions. 1, the applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval of all special use permit applications. 2, the applicant shall always possess a valid certificate of use issued by the City of Syracuse. 3, the business owner shall abide by the hours of operation that the Planning Commission decides upon. That is right now Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. 4, no neon signage or decorative lighting shall be permitted on the windows or building facade. 5, all outside storage, junk, bottles, cartons, boxes, debris, and the like shall be restricted to appropriately screened enclosures not visible to the general public. 6, the proposed outside seating shall be only situated within a property boundary without encroaching on the city's right-of-way. 7, curbs shall be provided along the edge of all areas accessible to vehicles to prevent the encroachment of vehicles on any portion thereof upon adjacent property or the street right-of-way. And 8, the applicant shall obtain approval for a re-subdivision to combine 206 Greenway Avenue and 307 Rio Street into a single parcel to ensure that all proposed accessory parking spaces are located on the same parcel.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion on the motion now before us. If there's no discussion, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? So this recommendation for SP 2026-9 will move on to the Common Council for a final determination. We have another special use permit application.
Yes, next up is SP 2026-18, special use permit at 623-25 Wolf Street, owned by East Coast Housing LLC in the MX2 zone district. I do just want to briefly make some comments before I turn it over to Greg. This was before this board before for a restaurant special use permit. The business model is changing, so the owner is back before this governing body to change it to a commercial food preparation establishment or commissary kitchen. I'll let him explain more, but if this should get adopted by council, by the Common Council and by this board, he is agreeing to relinquishing the restaurant special use permit and have this kind of subsume or replace it. So if there's any questions on that, let me know. If not, I'll turn it over to Greg to walk through this plan.
Hello, how's everyone doing today?
Good evening.
My name's Greg Neese with East Coast Housing, 104 George Street, North Syracuse, New York. Here to talk about 623, 625 Wolf Street, changing the special use permit over to a commissary kitchen. I have a business plan. I got 3 copies of it. If anyone's interested, I could share.
Yeah, we're good.
That's okay, we can share. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's the same thing. It's in here. Yeah, it's in here. It's the same.
So anyways, I want to change it over to more of a commissary kitchen, allowing multiple users to use the kitchen versus just one. So far, I did make a mistake, and I started a little too early, which I own. We've already had some users using it to high success, and these are people that are using the kitchen that are not wanting to own a whole restaurant, but need days, or maybe a day, once a week, or maybe even once a month. And so far, it's off to a good start. Everything's been on pause. Obviously, upon your guys' approval, then we can continue once successful.
So one thing I want to note that I actually wasn't aware of, our licensing coordinator for the city of Syracuse in the permit office works closely with a lot of different types of business licensing, but you know, a lot of these vendors, they need an actual home base or kitchen to get health department approval. So it makes sense that this is being established, and you know, these types of businesses, they need this sort of kitchen or home base to provide their, you know, whatever it is they're making and selling at, you know, a different space, whether they're selling to stores or at events or whatever it may be. So I just wanted to explain that. And it's usually small local business owners too.
Thank you.
So questions for the applicant?
So what happened to the Tommy's Diner
It
proposal?
was, would do good. There was staffing issues, trying to keep the cook. One day the cook would call in sick, or then a waitress would call in sick, and he was having a difficult time maintaining a solid base. Didn't really spend a lot of advertising on it, sort of just opened the doors and tried to get it going, and he just didn't have a good solid base to it as far as employees, and it was a difficult thing to overcome to be established. And I came up with the idea because there were so many kitchen hours. I said, I want to see this place be of use. And the commissary, you know, now is allowing multiple people to give them a chance to actually start their business and maybe move on to their own restaurant or move on to whatever they do. So as Jake was saying, each entity, real entity, that's a real entity, LLC or DBA, need what's called a commissary kitchen to run a legal business. So we've already worked with Onondaga County Health Department, New York State Health Department, and we've passed them. I just sort of made a mistake, and Jake corrected me on that. So I'm here to finalize it and get some people back to you, Jake.
Every time, doesn't it?
Greg, can you also, just for the record, I think it'd be helpful for you to explain how Tommy's Diner is going to fit into this use and the contract that they have?
So yes, so what's going to happen is I represent East Coast Housing. The name of the commissary kitchen is going to be, which is a DBA on the last page there, it's going to be called East Coast Commissary Kitchen. That's going to be the head health permit. From that, there'll be the branched off of the other people using their permit, including Tommy's. Tommy's doing some catering work, so he's not out of business. He just wasn't using enough kitchen hours to make enough money to pay the rent, logistically. So, and I came up with the concept. I said, well, you know, there's a lot of kitchen hours that are just wide open here. Don't give up. We just got to shift gears. And he's doing some catering. It's just not, catering's not always all the time. We got a gig with the military, actually. We're doing some catering. It's an early thing. It's from like 8 in the morning to 10, deliveries by like 10:30, and it's Monday through Friday. So it's been solid for him, but once again, there's so many kitchen hours open. It just doesn't make sense to not use that kitchen.
Great. So you found a new niche.
Found a new niche. And there was the Salt City Commissary Kitchen. I believe I know why they went under, because they weren't managing their kitchen right. So and I've already worked with the health department with some of this stuff, Amy Darcy. What was going on is like people would sign up for the service to get their license and then go ghost. So they have their license and there was no counteraction. The way I'm going to do it is there will be like a small monthly fee. And when someone stops paying, I will contact someone like Amy Darcy to say, hey, this person's not here no more. Update your records or contact them. And there'll be more of a checks and balance to the system versus going rogue. And there's 1,000 food trucks out there that probably aren't zoned proper at a real commissary kitchen.
Intent? Additional questions?
Yeah, so I have two questions. The house that's on the west, is there a common wall? Is there communication between those two? How?
So you talk about, it's 623, 625 Wall Street. It's, the building's actually attached.
It is attached, okay, because
It
that wasn't
is
clear.
going to get sided. It's going to get sided probably very soon, so it looks like all one building, but as separate residents there.
Right. So there's no communication between the two buildings? It's just an attached wall, or?
It's not gonna, it's attached.
Okay.
I don't know about communication, I'm not sure.
Right,
There's like separate power, separate water
Okay,
bills on
great,
that.
thanks.
You know,
The other question, I'm just wondering, and I can't recall because it's been 2 years since we last visited this, but
Quiet, yeah.
there's no sidewalks on the property.
there's no sidewalks.
And
no.
then, I know that the plans have demarcation between the parking and the right-of-way, so that there's, should be no opportunity to back out. But I was just curious, and maybe this is much a question for zoning administrator, just with respect to sidewalks in this particular property, because we often, when we do review a new application, and if there's no sidewalks, we try to see if we can do something about sidewalks.
Is that a question for me?
Yeah, well, I guess it's a
So-
question, I'm just wondering about Jake.
I think
If
there,
there's been any discussion about the sidewalks for that property.
if I could add a little something to it,
Yeah.
not to
The image
interrupt.
with 202 is the image, yeah, thanks.
If you look from the street, there's actually was a sidewalk. I think it just over the years of layers of Tarvey and New
Yes,
Street,
macadam
I think it
over
got buried sort of. So I think that sort of answers that there used to be a sidewalk, I believe. That's like real low now versus, I think, just new Tarvey over the course of the years that just, on the street side, that is.
Would that be an appropriate condition for,
We don't have anything like that from Public Works. What I can say is Greg has complied with the SEPTED portion of it, where he's got the bollards limiting the access, the ingress and egress to the, I guess that would be the furthest west kind of pull in. Left on your screen is where it would kind of be, right where the cursor is in and out down there. But we do not have anything recommending that from Public Works.
So it's, 203 has the picture of the ballards that are there. So I guess I just wanted to check if that's adequate from the zoning perspective.
Yeah,
from the code's
and
perspective.
that, again, that was from a Syracuse Police Crime Prevention through Environmental Design comment, not from Public Works Transportation. But yes, it's compliant
okay.
with that portion of it.
Thanks.
Greg, I just want to confirm that you're very confident that you have a program established. If there are abusers, you're going to be on top of that.
Absolutely. I'm a spreadsheet guy. I don't miss a beat. So, yes, I have a system that's already set in place, actually, that the way the business is going to run as far as billing and all that stuff goes. And when I've already talked to like Amy Darcy, so we're already in conjunction. If, someone sort of just disappears, my job is going to be to tell her, hey, just so you know, I'm not there to say cancel their permit, but they're just not at my location anymore. And that's up to her to do. It's not my job to do that,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Or?
yeah, how many cooks do you think you would anticipate?
Oh.
And will it fluctuate over time, or do you expect it to be sort of constant?
I think it's going to be a fluctuation because, there's going to be some businesses that try to get a business going potentially, and their success is up to them. I'm just offering the space to use it. So that's sort of to be determined. So there might be some coming, there might be some going, there might be a steady influx, but the people that are using it today, not currently, but were, some of them were just once a month. Some of them were once every 2 weeks. Some of the food truck guys were in and out a little bit more, but they were like in and out. They were doing what they got to do. They're cooking on their truck, but they got to fill their water up. There's like certain rules that Onondaga County requires for them to do. And I think I found a nice niche for the building. And, it's making a lot of people that are using it very happy. I was supposed to have a couple people come today, but some of them weren't able to show up. Oh,
yeah.
there she is. So I would like to introduce, when she's ready, Tropical Palm. They're one of my favorites over here. So they have come to me. They're maybe like once every 2 weeks, once every so often, and they use the kitchen for their operation.
So it has the potential for a lot of variability
Absolutely.
over the months and maybe even seasonal changes as well.
Sure. And, and so far our users that have used the kitchen are, really liking it, and I'm keeping their costs down versus, say they decide to start getting busier, maybe they'll fly off on their own and get their own restaurant if it, makes sense for them. But the food truck people, they need us for licensing.
We can hope. I was going to make a comment about too many cooks in the kitchen, but I'll refrain.
So far, so good with everything.
You were going to, I'm going
Introduce.
to call for those who want to speak in favor of the application to come forward and do that, and that might be the category in which.
And I'll sit
Thank
down
you.
and let her take
Thank
over.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Just give us your name and address and your comments.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Geralda Boga Joseph. I go by G. I'm one of the corners of Tropical Palm. We are a Haitian American catering service established here since 2021. We've taken a pause because of the issues of finding a reliable and up-to-date and clean commissary kitchen to use on a regular basis. And this year when we relaunched our business, we found Greg online, as all of us are trying to do research and establish. And since day one, the process has been seamless because we've been established and gone through the process with the health department for different jobs before. I have to say, since I started working with different commissary kitchen in the area within Syracuse and outside of Syracuse, it's one of the seamless system that I've seen established. It's very straightforward because we're already established. So we know what the paperwork looks like. We know we have to walk in and do a walkthrough, and he's there in person, and the team is there. It's not just words going around and throwing a ton of lists at me. So he helps us establishing with the place. We've used that since we are mobile, so we take different type of jobs. We have used that to prepare food and do deliveries, and also to do our pop-ups to promote the business. And that's where my push for the full established commissary kitchen comes into play, because not having a place of our own and being mobile, it's so difficult to do those pop-ups so that we can launch in the community. And as a small business, we need that home base. We are not able to do it every week, and having somewhere where we can have it scheduled and our followers know where we at twice a month from 2 to 8. This is where Tropical Palm is. He has been very helpful. We test drive it 3 times. It was very successful, and we are hoping to continue to do so. The locale is amazing. We've done downtown. As much as we love downtown and we love the crowd downtown, majority of our followers on a busy Saturday night, we are not getting the majority crowd for ethnic food because of parking situation. And where Greg is located is perfect. The parking, street parking, is just convenient. And the few other colleagues that I've worked with, one of the benefits I want to throw out there is the fact that although it is a commissary kitchen, when we schedule to use it, we get to use it and we're alone. And we feel safe in there. And we do like that. There is that quality control aspect of it that we thrive to keep within our business, that the place favors that as well. And we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there other individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, come forward, please. Provide your name, address, and comments. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. Provide your name, address, and comments. Good evening.
My name is Catherine Cullivan. I'm here on behalf of the Washington Square Neighborhood Association. I have a statement I'd like to read. We oppose this proposal. It's an unsafe, unmanageable, unenforceable, incompatible with the neighborhood, and historically problematic property. What's being presented here is not a restaurant. It's a rotating commercial food hub and shared commissary kitchen in the middle of a residential neighborhood at a property with long documented history of violations, criminal activity, and failed oversight. This site was Tommy's Bar and Grill, shut down after years of drug activity, violence, noise, and police calls. The city knew all of this. Then it became Tommy's Diner, and even with a second chance, the property still violated its permit. In 2026, it was cited for operating outside a special use permit. That is in your own records. Now the city's approval narrative is trying to frame this as a low-impact continuation of a restaurant. It's not. This is a multi-tenant commercial kitchen operating from 5 a.m. to midnight. That's what's in the application. 7 days a week with multiple food businesses rotating through the site. This is a major intensification of its use. If the city decides to approve this anyway, residents need real enforcement, real oversight, and a single accountable point person, because for years, residents have been the ones documenting violations while the city's complaint-driven system has failed to protect the neighborhood. Before you expand commercial activity here again, we need answers to basic land use, safety, and enforcement questions. Who is legally responsible when multiple owners use the same kitchen? Who is accountable for health code violations, fire hazards, sanitation failures, or safety issues? Why is the city recommending approval before the parking issue is even legal? What is code enforcement's plan? What is the fire department's plan? What is the health department's plan? Who shuts down equipment at night? Where do the trucks go? Who handles waste, grease, rodents, and trash? Why should homeowners absorb the risk again? And the core question, why is the city expanding commercial activity at a property with documented history of violations and criminal incidents? And what guarantees will ensure enforcement is real, proactive, and tied to a single independent named point person so residents are not forced to police this property themselves? I have that statement in a letter. May I approach?
Please, and we'll add it to the record.
I will also get that to you in an email by tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there other individuals who would like to speak in opposition to the application? If so, please come forward.
Thank you. My name is Bridget Moore. I live next door. There's one house between us and this property. And thank you, Catherine, for that. I really appreciate it. You said it a lot more nicely than I would. I can't even begin to tell you how many nights that in front of our property, there would be people that would, well, there were some people that would come over and pee in our yard. Like we have a view camera and they'd go up the driveway. Beyond that, they'd park. It wouldn't matter. It's odd even, but all down the street. And then the party would continue outside of their car. So in just regards to like 5 in the morning till midnight, okay, that's 1 hour past noise ordinance, 2 hours before noise ordinance. And just a little ticky little thing, there's a car that belongs to Tommy's Bar and Grill, and those disabled ramps that they use, that's great. It provides them a pad that they can drive up on the sidewalk and park like feet from the door. Another thing I have to ask, I'm not really real clear on what a ballard is. What is a ballard? Can anybody tell me?
It's a vertical piece of cement, steel, or whatever that prevents cars from encroaching onto sidewalks and so forth.
So it's
Lawn.
buried in the ground?
No, it sticks up above the ground.
Oh, it
It's
sticks up
anchored
above.
in the ground, but it sticks up above.
Oh, it is anchored in the ground?
Yeah.
Well, those ballards are in buckets.
Yeah, they're in buckets.
Well,
It's not anchored. The
it's
ones-
solid.
208 is the picture. If you want
Why
to
would you have them in a bucket if you weren't going to move them?
203.
Yeah. I just don't think that they're people of their word. That's it. Thank you so much.
Bridget, you're on Second North?
Yes, ma'am. 711 Second North.
Thank you. Are there other individuals who would like to speak in opposition to the application? Please come forward, provide your name, your address, and then your comments.
Hi, I'm April Moore. I live at 711 Second North. And our street is a very quiet, tranquil street. I've lived at that house since 1982. I've lived in the neighborhood since 1953. I've been around. I know the neighborhood. And that corner lot, which is now Tommy's, very disappointed in having no respect for the neighborhood. The patrons, where he had business before, at 10 o'clock, you think it was the end of the world. The patrons would be walking up the street and the music, whatever music, would be so loud it would shake the house. I'm not saying it's going to be like that now, but it's the activity and whatever patrons show up. I'm really disheartened by this whole idea. 5 a.m. to midnight? Why? Why? No respect. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect.
Thank you. Other individuals who wish to speak in opposition?
Thank you. Pete Leahy, 1607 Spring Street. I'd like to ditto what Catherine had read earlier. I'd also like to mention, under his own admission, he has a special use permit and he's already started this commissary kitchen. It only came to an end when we brought it to our councilman, Marty Niley, and he put a stop to it. Otherwise, it would still be operating, even though he doesn't have the special use permit already. There's trailers there nightly. There's already, under the Tommy's Bar and Grill, that went beyond his scope of operating hours. It was supposed to be breakfast and lunch. There would be activity there evenings, 8, 9 o'clock at night. So he already goes beyond his use permit. What's going to make him follow this use permit? So I'm against it, 100%. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there other individuals who wish to speak in opposition to the application? Please come forward. I see no additional speakers on this, so as I indicated at the outset, when comments are offered in opposition, the applicant has an opportunity to address the comments made in opposition. You have the opportunity to do that now if you'd like.
To answer some of the questions directly, I'm going to be in charge of it. I was not in charge of Tommy's Diner or Tommy's, when all that stuff happened about 2.5 years ago. I came before you guys, and the place has been very quiet. For 2 years, there's been no problems, no cop calling, no nothing. There's been no loud music. The parking lot's been free. There was a mistake that made 2.5 years ago. And it was about 2.5 years ago, and it's been very quiet, very respectful. I get along good with all the neighbors. Now I feel bad that these guys went through that back then. That's why I'm, as building owner, stepping into the business to run it, making sure that none of that type of stuff happens. I have a lot at risk to let anything foolish happen at that building because it's, it's an investment to me. So to allow anything foolish to happen is not going to happen. Everyone that is going to be using the kitchen is a legal entity. They have to run their business, and it's all on food. There's no alcohol. I'm not asking for a bar. When all that stuff happened, if you guys recall, that alcohol permit got turned in. We complied with everything going forward. So, I mean, there's going to be, there's security cameras. I increased the lighting. I did the parking bollards, so on and so forth. I have too much at risk to let anything foolish happen on that property going forward. Things did happen a couple years ago. But ever since I've checked the police records, there's been nothing. It's been very quiet. And I just feel that this is beyond just a bar. I'm not trying to open a bar. I'm opening a commissary kitchen to allow people with legal entities to pursue their dreams, basically. You guys just heard from G. She loves the place. I went in there, one of her little gatherings she had, and it was great. And that's the users we have. We have a couple people that are cooking cupcakes. They're not having no one come in even. They serve at weddings and so on and so forth, and they're using it as their commissary kitchen. They come in by themselves, not their customers even. And, they're using it for permanent usage. So, I mean, everyone that is using the kitchen has a reason to be there. They're trying to start a business. So they're not there to, I'm not allowing any foul play. The stuff that happened a couple years ago, guys, I'm here to say, sorry he is, okay? Because this stuff did happen. But I'm going to be the point person, not Tommy's Diner, not, nothing of that sort. I'm the building owner. I'm not going to allow any foul play. And if I can go back in time, that would have ended a lot sooner, but it happened. And, it's 2.5 years ago. And, it's time for it to move on and make it a successful place. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Okay, thank you. So
Any
we will-
questions?
Just for clarification, it may be helpful for the folks who have made comments about the problems that existed before. The interior seating area exists only for purposes of the partners in a commissary. There's no public access to the seating area, no public traffic into the seating area. So it shouldn't have had the kind of traffic problems we've had in the past.
Once again, guys, there's no bar, there's no DJs coming in. None of that kind of stuff is happening. So my Haitian friend over here, she does weddings and she's a caterer. So she might have people come in for tastings to try their food and stuff. But, these are people that are all good people that are coming in. And, this isn't, I'm not asking to open a wild bar and stuff like that. That's not what this is about.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us why you need to have such long hours? Why 5 a.m. to midnight?
Okay, good question. Well, a lot of these food trucks, they need to get on the road and get to where they got to go. Some of the caterers they're starting at 5 in the morning to prep their food, and these guys get segments of time. I'm giving them 6-hour windows. And as far as food trucks go, some of these events don't end. Taste of Syracuse probably ends at around, 10, 11 at night, maybe, give and take. I don't know exact time, but by the time they pack up and go, they got to go empty their water and stuff, and they're in and out. It's just the recommended time that I think would work best for the users. And these guys are cooking, they're prepping. Mm-hmm. They don't need it for an hour. They might need it for 5-6 hours at a time to, cook their food, prep their food, and package up and do what they got to do with it.
Yeah, I guess I understand that for the 5 a.m., but what about the 12 a.m.?
Up to 12. Okay, let's take Taste of Syracuse. Mm-hmm. Does anyone know what time that roughly ends at night? By the time they get out, though, they move their trucks, 10 o'clock, but by the time they move their trucks and all that, they got to empty their water and so on and so forth and get rid of their grease or whatever.
So they have to come back after the event.
Yeah.
That's why you needed 12?
Yes, of course, yes. And that's mainly for them guys. And, once again, that's not all the time either. It's not all the time. But some of these guys work different hours. They have their food trucks to X amount of time, and it's just they want to store their food or so on and so forth. That's just, I thought, personally, the hours that would work the best.
So, I think, so I'm hearing that you're going to try to do two things here. The food truck catering piece of business, which is what I would describe more as like a solo operation. I'm going to go there and prepare my food that I'm taking to Steve's party.
Sure.
And it's me and a couple of other people. And then there's G's
Mm-hmm.
operation, which is she runs a pop-up where she goes and prepares the food, but I go there to eat it. Is that right?
Somewhat, yeah. Somewhat, yes. Yeah, but once, yes.
Okay, so, and, you know, I think we have to look at the records, but clearly, we all are well aware of the difficulty that the neighborhood endured and your property endured
Yeah,
while it was Tommy's Bar and Grill.
agreed.
And by your admission tonight, Tommy's Diner didn't have the capacity, for lack of a better word, to run the business effectively.
Yeah, I mean,
for
it's
now.
bottom line, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I also hear the neighbors speaking to, as people are leaving the building for whatever reason they are in there for legally, hopefully, there are issues that are occurring with parking, with noise on the street.
2.5 years ago, ma'am.
But that's my question. Is
Right.
it 2.5 years ago
Yeah.
that all of that occurred? So what-
PTSD of 2.5 years ago, and I agree. I get the same feeling because that's never going to
It
happen.
hasn't occurred recently.
Nope.
Yeah, I can weigh in on that. So after Tommy's Diner opened up until pretty recently, like we get regular police checks on it, and I get updates from the area captain on their patrols. What Greg has stated, I've had 0 reports from SPD since Tommy's Bar shut down, and that was some time ago now.
And it's a result. I'm, building owner. I'm not just leases. I'm in there now, and I'm just not going to take the chance of craziness happening on the property. It's an investment for me. So I took a special interest. I want to see success out of it, but I want to see the place used by good people, and that's what I'm developing.
And I think that's one piece of it, Greg. The second piece of it is, I hear the neighborhood saying, please be a good neighbor to us as well.
I agree. I want to be.
So we need to have a communication system, a response system
Sure.
that immediately hears and answers
Sure.
the challenges that occur.
That would be me.
Okay.
That's me. I am the point person now. The proposal is going to be East Coast Commissary Kitchen. East Coast Housing is the property owner, myself. East Coast Commissary Kitchen is just a sub DBA of the overall LLC. I'm in there now. I just want to see success, and I don't want problems with any neighbors. And my apologies to anyone that stuff happened to, but that was a little bit out of my control. It's under my control now, and it's been very quiet for 2.5 years. And it's.
If we were to not act on this tonight, would you be willing to meet with a group of the neighbors
Sure.
who feel differently?
Sure,
And
100%.
who have concerns going forward with
course.
how the operation
Sure,
will present to the neighborhood?
sure.
So that they at least have an opportunity to tell you what they've experienced.
We could even do it there if you want. You guys are more than welcome to, more than welcome, Could even do it there if they want.
Come on up, Kat.
Sure. If I could answer that, the food trucks aren't going there to run their operation. Those generators turn on when they get on site. They're not running, they're filling up some water here, dumping some water. They're not there setting up the food truck and letting it run all day. That's not what's gonna happen. Not even close, just for the record.
So I don't know how the rest of the commission feels. I mean, I'd be willing to suggest that we hold action on this tonight And I heard you say you're willing to attend the neighborhood, the Washington Square neighborhood meeting Thursday?
Sure.
And then I think that would give me an opportunity, again, I don't want to speak for the rest of the commission, to double check some of the concerns that the neighborhoods have brought to us.
Sounds like the neighborhood would like the point of contact. To have a
That's
chance
me.
To express their concerns to someone who is an authority over the building.
And that's me.
Yeah. And, you know, we have had, from time to time, cases like this where there's concern with the neighbors about the operation, and we have held it and had meetings between the applicant and the neighbors that were able to resolve the concerns. So if that works well in this situation, that would be a good path forward.
Sure. I mean, you know,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, you have a long history that's not your fault, but it's a long history that needs to be addressed. You need to build up the confidence and the
Sure. And I was hoping over
trust
the
of
course
the
of
neighbors.
Agreed, I understand. And I was hoping over the course of 2.5 years, which is a pretty darn long time,
Yep.
to have zero issues. You know, there's zero issues there. There's no police records, there's no problems. I think, because I worked with you guys on this, and Jake and I've worked with you guys directly on this, and I turned the place around, very much so. And, you know, there should be a little credit for 2.5 years of no problems too, when there was, and I'd be the first one to say that there was issues. Those were corrected and, you know, and satisfied and fixed.
So I think what I'm hearing is consensus. We hold this item this evening. You and neighbors will have some conversation at the meeting scheduled for Thursday and exchange issues, concerns, suggestions perhaps. And this will be on our agenda for our next meeting. That'll be in June. And we would hope to hear back in advance of that meeting some report on what happened in the course of the conversations. Okay? Okay, thanks to everyone who spoke on this.
You have to come out way up.
Please come to the microphone.
Who is going to be the person to follow up with you about our meeting on Thursday?
Who's going to follow up with us?
Yeah, after the meeting.
Right.
About the discussion, answers to our questions, which you have in there.
Yep.
Who's going to, shall I follow up with you?
I think if someone could convey some kind of summary of that conversation or that meeting to the zoning office.
I always write minutes to our meeting. They're very comprehensive. If you've ever seen any of my meeting minutes, they're very comprehensive. I'd be glad to get a copy to you.
That would be great. And if it can be done in advance of our next meeting, then it gives us time to read them and digest them and so forth.
I can send it to you.
And if you do a really good job at that, we've got minutes here that from time to time need a little help. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
and
I'm really good at it.
And in between now and the next meeting, communication would be with the staff.
Right.
Okay.
So thank you for
What
the
is the date
follow-through.
of your next meeting?
June 8th, I
June 8th.
believe.
Okay. Thank you.
That sounds right, yeah. No, later than that.
Later than that? Okay, wait, they're correcting me. I have to go look.
That's not enough time, I don't think. Thank you.
They're correcting me, so let me check.
It's June 8th.
It is? Oh, my
It's June
my
8th.
mistake.
June 8th.
June 8th. So you should have a few weeks. Before we move to our next two items, I'm going to call upon our very able vice chair to preside over the next two items on our agenda. I will not
So
be.
exciting.
I will not be voting on those items, nor will I be participating in any discussion because of my affiliation with the applicant. So I give you our esteemed vice chair.
It's always nice to be one seat over. All right, we'll let Jake tee this off and we'll go from there. Thank you for the introduction.
All right. Next up, we have two major site plan reviews. We'll start with MASPR 2026-8 at 1474 Salt Springs Road, owned by Finn's Management in the R1 zone district. So just to kind of cue this up a little bit, this is applicant is seeking to establish additional bedrooms in an existing single unit dwelling unit. So it's not an addition. It's within the same footprint of the existing structure. And as of our last zoning code amendment, this now triggers site plan review to ensure that we're evaluating the density and intensity of use in a residential zone district, rather than dealing with the old definition of family that we used to have in the old zoning code, and so on. So that's what will be presented this evening at 2 properties, but we'll start with Salt Springs Road, and I'll turn it over to a representative from Finn's Management.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Gary Peden with Lemoyne Facilities. Jack Brower with Lemoyne College. I'm the manager for community engagement and properties. So we just wanted to start by giving you a little context of our efforts with these properties. You may or may not know some of this. In 2022, there was an individual landlord that owned 20 properties in and around the college. He approached the college and wanted to sell the 20 properties, all or nothing. So we could buy one, but we couldn't buy one. We had to buy everything or nothing. He was also entertaining offers from other landlords, which we knew were absentee landlords, and the college administration did not want to see those homes and go into his hands, and what that effect would be on the community. So with that, we did decide to move forward. Leadership really wanted to improve the integrity and to support the integrity of the community. The college has not added any bed capacity to any of these houses since we purchased them. At the time of the sale, from the individual we bought it from, there were 94 bedrooms in the 20 homes. Upon the college taking them over, we immediately eliminated many bedrooms, 14 in total, because of either egress issues or the quality of space. We also immediately started to install egress windows in any unit that had a sleeping unit that was below grade, where we could do it. Some places it just wasn't feasible, or it was very cost prohibitive, so we eliminated the bedroom. So with that, we then also had a lease that was under his ownership. So our students that lease had no tie to our students or to the college, right? So their behavior, if somebody was behaving bad, it was very hard for us to enforce that. We had to live with that for that first year. Once we got through that first year, we decided to hire a property manager. That's when Jack Brower came on, and we really worked out a solid lease that holds the students academically accountable for their behavior in these houses. And I'll let Jack speak a little bit about his efforts. Yeah, so thanks for having us tonight. As Gary said, I'm the manager for community engagement and properties, which is definitely an unusual job title a little bit. People don't usually think of community engagement and property managers in the same section. But as we gather tonight to kind of consider these applications and their impact on quality of life, I do feel like community engagement and housing kind of live at that intersection of quality of life, especially in a residential one neighborhood. So I do want to harp back to what Gary said about, we're not adding bedrooms per se here. We've actually reduced the number of bedrooms in this portfolio of 20 properties. And I oversee all those properties for the college. And in purchasing these, Lemoyne's been able to open some new avenues for communication with the neighborhood. So now, if we do get to a point where there's unwanted behavior at one of these homes, security, campus safety is on call 24/7, 365 days a year, and can respond to those properties because they're college property. We've also been able to create an application process for students that are interested in living in the neighborhood. So we can kind of take a pool of applicants and say, let's think about who might be ready to live next door to neighbors in Salt Springs and kind of blend well with residential life. I think my job brings me a lot of joy. It's fun to try to bridge connections between the college campus and the Salt Springs neighborhood. And I've been able to meet some really incredible neighbors, some of which are here tonight. They've been here for 10, 20, 30, even 40, sometimes even 50 years in this neighborhood, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of thoughts to add to this conversation. And also, I'll mention that since we've taken over the properties, now Lemoyne Security does patrol those areas, not, so much for law enforcement, but there's a presence, right? And the college has purposely gone out and put a lot of commitment into the landscaping, improving security around the houses, improving lighting around the houses, which all helps the neighborhood, right? So it's a strong commitment by the college to the neighborhood. And it's a nice connection. We meet a lot of nice people. And I think since Jack has come on board, the behavior of the students has really changed 100%. Sorry, I lost it.
It's all right. Well, we'll start.
That
Thank
sounds like
you.
something you should package and sell, changing the behavior of students. I mean, seriously.
Take it on the road, Jack.
I haven't heard anybody else say anything remotely like that.
I like living on the east side.
In the cases in front of us tonight, so where you did keep the added bedrooms, then you also increased the common space, correct?
In some cases, we didn't have to because the common space was larger, but through this process, we will need to increase some of the common space as we go through the process, yes.
Sure. And as you said, you added egress windows where possible.
Correct. And if we couldn't add it, then we eliminated the bedroom.
Do you have any sense of how many properties might be coming forward before us for approval of
I think in
site plan?
total, there's 8, aren't there? 8.
Yeah, I believe we thought there were 11, but it turns out there's going to be 8. So this is 2 out of 8 tonight.
And I would say our opening statement, what we said, will be the same for both properties this evening. So.
I just want to confirm, so you will match the common space requirement
Yes.
as you
Correct.
solidify the floor plan
Right.
for the additional sleeping? And you're doing the same with additional parking spots off-site where necessary for the additional sleeping?
That is our proposal.
Right. Just want to be sure I read everything right.
A question about this first property. The driveway right now has been illegally extended beyond the original approval, and so the recommendation or the condition is that the existing driveway area shall be returned to its original condition prior to the illegal expansion cited in 2018. But I don't see anything, I can't really tell what that is. Is that when it? Okay.
I don't think the curve's there. I think it's pretty much straight out from the house. Yeah. See how the one before with the plan, yeah, it had a curve to it. This one, I think at some point, somebody, again, we didn't add any of this paving. It was here
I know
when we
it's
purchased.
before you acquired the
Correct.
property, but
Right.
the condition is there.
Right.
So I just wasn't quite sure what.
So I think it's, see where the cursor is? I think it was curved in the past, but I think one of the owners straightened it out, which now goes right out to the road. Actually, I think you can kind of see it there.
Right, so which portion needs to be restored? That's what I can't.
I would think we'd have to take out that portion that's curved, wouldn't we, Jake?
If you go, there's kind of a. Just lost it. It's like the cover page. It's got 2 little pictures from them. Now go down maybe. It shows like old parking from prior to your ownership, I believe.
Right, that 226,
Yeah, that
the
one
one with 2
right there.
cars? Yeah.
So I believe it's expanded too far to the left of the garage, but also too far right of the garage. Right. So when this got reviewed by engineering and DPW, it was one of their comments. Actually, they put in a denial, but we're suggesting a condition that they just commit to correcting it and getting a permit for what is allowed.
Right, they'll be able to obtain parking not far away.
Yeah, so
With
it's
free parking
basically
spaces.
asking that they tear up portions of it to have it
Right.
comply with. So some of the comments were about water sheeting off, and,
Right. So, but it's not just the left side, it's also the right side, which extends out too far.
Right.
Okay.
So it's narrowing the entrance, the entire length of the driveway.
Yeah, bringing it back to that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you have on file, I believe.
Is that right? No?
Okay.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
All right, thank you. We'll see you.
Thank you.
How many of those neighbors showed up, right? And may we ask, who would like to speak in favor of the proposal?
I'm John Nemi, 1234 Salt Springs Road, and we just are generally in favor of it. Since Lemoyne has taken over management, things are greatly improved with the rental properties. We're happy with their management.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak in favor?
Jeffrey Chen, 1440 Salt Springs Road. I've been there 25 years. I've been in Syracuse for 42 years. During that time, I was a faculty member at Lemoyne College. I'm in support I'm actually agnostic about the proposal. It's fine, seems fine to me. This house that we're talking about is actually 3 or 4 doors down from my house, but what they're proposing sounds fine. I just want to make a comment, first of all, thanking you for the opportunity to come and speak with you and for the work that you do to make this process possible. The work that the college has initiated by hiring Jack and putting him in this position of helping to improve town-gown relationships has been wonderful. There still are pieces that are falling between the cracks. You may recall that I was here a couple years ago when Lemoyne wanted a variance to put in a parking lot across the street from my house. And appreciate the opportunity to be able to come in here and voice our concerns. I was also happy that the outcome came in our favor. So that line of communication, I think, could be better. Jack, of course, manages the student housing and the way that the students behave in the neighborhood, and that's, as I said, been a major improvement. I still think that when it comes to capital changes in the campus and the landscape of the way the campus is laid out, that things could be done a little bit better. And it really, what we're looking for is just better communication. So we're taking a step forward, and we'd like to continue to see those steps continue. Thanks.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak in favor? Would anyone like to speak in opposition? All right, we're not seeing anyone who wants to speak in opposition. I'll turn to Jake and ask if you'd lead us in secret.
Thank you. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA? Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we'll turn to the actual motion for the major site plan.
Oh, in consideration of the application staff analysis and discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application MESPR-2026-8 as presented with 7 conditions. Those conditions are as follows. The applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval on the site plan application. 2, all on-site parking must be contained within the attached garage. Additional parking is not permitted on a driveway between the front setback and the city right-of-way. 3, all proposed work shall apply for and obtain permits from the Central Permit Office prior to commencing of any work. 4, any unpermitted work will require retroactive permits to be obtained from the Central Permit Office. 5, the property owner shall ensure that the designated 3 parking spaces remain continuously available for residents of the property. And 6, The applicant shall comply with the, I'm sorry, 6 is unnecessary. There are only 6 conditions. So after 5, number 6 should be the existing driveway area shall be returned to its original condition prior to the illegal expansion in 2018. That's 6 conditions, not 7.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, we will then call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there an abstention? Noting 1 abstention. All right, thank you very much. Can we move on to the next application?
Next up, very similar, another major site plan review at 109 Phillips Road, same ownership in the R1 zone district.
All right, could the applicants please come up? You look familiar.
Jack Brower, Lemoyne College. Gary Peden, Lemoyne College.
Right, and could you give us a little background on this application?
I think we would give the same background we gave for the previous one. I don't know, Jack, do you want anything specific for this house?
No, it's fairly similar. This one has a larger driveway, so we're not proposing off-site parking. I'd say that's the main difference.
And again, this is the house that you purchased. The condition was already there, and so you made the modification so you can bring it up to the current code. Exactly. Or ordinance. Question?
Yeah, so I have a question about the parking in the driveway situation. Page 259, yeah, okay, that shows it, both of those. I guess this is really just a question for the administrator, zoning administrator. It's kind of an unusual arrangement. Is this acceptable? That's what it comes down to it, because we've had situations like this before. In some cases, it's okay. In some cases, it's not. So.
Yeah, it's okay. All the parking's shown is beyond the front setback. This happens with families that have older teens in the house that have cars, you know, whether you call it roulette or, you know, whatever, the changing of cars to get other cars out. But yeah, as long as they're not driving on grass or cutting across to get, if they're stacking like this, it's, yeah.
I agree, it's unusual.
Jack will have his work cut out for him.
That's right. This will be a question about making the students behave properly.
Yeah. Well, we don't like it, we don't appreciate it when they drive across the lawn. It creates a lot of work for us, right? So we try to enforce that pretty strictly.
I mean, maybe one thing the board can bring up is there, you know, appetite to possibly grant some parking? This probably isn't as close as that other one to that lot, is that right?
Not to that lot.
Right.
There is a large dormitory parking lot right down the street at the intersection of Albert and Phillips Road.
St. Mary's and Harrison Halls?
Yes. That always has parking spaces available.
I only mention it to the board because I was in college at one time, and I can tell you we did not follow rules like that, and there were vehicles cutting across grass and parking on grass maybe. So just, I don't know, just something to consider that, you know, hearing from neighbors, like the kind of the behavior has been better, but knowing what college students will do could be a challenge. But
yeah, and I guess the important thing is to make sure they understand that they have to be behind the front setback.
Okay, noted.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone like to speak in favor of this application?
I just say ditto.
Did we still need your name and address?
John Nemi, 1234 South Springs Road. I'm in favor.
And then the minutes can say ditto. Yeah.
Pardon me?
Then the minutes can reflect you said ditto.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir, would you like to approach?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone want to speak in opposition to the application? All right, seeing no one rising, we'll come back to Jake for seeker.
has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there such a motion?
Make a motion to approve a negative seeker declaration?
A second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And as for the application, is there a motion?
In consideration of application, staff analysis, and discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application MESR PR-2026-8 as presented with 5 conditions. Those 5 conditions are as follows. 1, the applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval of the site plan application. 2, all on-site parking must be kept behind the front facade of the structure. Additional parking is not permitted on the driveway between the first facade and the city right-of-way. 3, all proposed work shall apply, any proposed work shall apply for and obtain permits from the Central Permit Office prior to commencing any work. And 4, any unpermitted work will require retroactive permits to be divided from the Central Permit Office. And actually, there's only 4 conditions for this application.
All right. And is there a second to the motion? Second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? We'll note the abstention for the record. Thank you. And with those 2 applications being completed, I now gratefully hand back the column to our chair.
Oh, I don't know. I think you did quite well, and you might just want to keep on going.
Another day. Thank you.
But we're nearing the end, so we have a few more applications. Our next one is a major site plan review.
Yes, this is MASPR-2026-17 at 333 East Onondaga Street in the MX5 Zone District. I'll turn it over to Joe to walk through this.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Joe Perino. I'm a principal in architects at 239 East Water Street. And this is at 333 East Onondaga Street is the Monroe Building. It was built in the mid-20th century commercial office building that was constructed in 1968, designed by local architect Gordon Schaffer for the Monroe Abstract and Title Corporation. The project that we're proposing is to change the use of the building from an office building to apartments. We have planned 46 units, 12 one-bedroom, and 34 studios. We plan to keep the front 2 bays on the first floor commercial, but behind that, we do want to have residential units. We did get a use variance from the ZBA last month so that we can do that. The basement will be amenity spaces, laundry room, storage room, fitness center, existing mechanical room. The building's 6 stories. We have a green roof on it has a green roof, existing green roof, but it's going to be unoccupied. Our client is High Tide Capital, which is a Maine-based historic development company specializing in revitalizing underutilized buildings into modern, sustainable, mixed-use spaces. They are currently finishing up a project at 250 Harrison Street and are doing a great job turning that old office building into apartments. Our contractor is VIP Structures, who is also the contractor for 250 Harrison. We have Christine Stevens from VIP. She's here, hoping that we get this approved. So the building is, maybe you can go to the pictures there. Yeah, the exterior pictures. The front and east elevation facing East Onondaga Street and the south elevation, which faces the old Carnegie Library, has the same vocabulary, regular space, projecting brick piers, and these deeply recessed single pane pivoting windows. They're really cool. They're huge windows, and we're keeping those. We met with the Landmark Preservation Board, already got their approval. So those are all original to remain. The south elevation is that sawtooth shape, and that's kind of calling card for this building is, you see those sawtooth shaped building, and all those are angled to look right out at the courthouse. So this was all, most of the offices here were for lawyers, and they were all, focused on the courthouse. So the north elevation is all CMU painted. That is recently painted with the basketball mural. So you've all seen that. That used to, that parking lot, it used to be the old YMCA building. That's why there's no windows on there or anything. That's why we had that blank wall. And then the back of the building faces Montgomery Street. There's a parking lot that goes through there, and that again is painted CMU with some windows. We're planning to add 9 windows, 4 to the first floor and 1 to each floor in the CMU wall in the rear of the building. We also plan on changing the existing 333 Monroe building sign. Those are the only things that we're changing on the exterior. So this building is really staying as is, and we're obviously changing the use. There are only a few changes that we're making, and but I have Nathan LaPierre from Keplinger Freeman who wants to discuss the site scope.
Hi everyone, Nathan LaPierre, Associate Principal, Keplinger Freeman Associates. We put together the site drawings. So, Joe was talking about the building, very minimal exterior work. The site is very similar. There's not much going on. Currently, the building does not have a gas service, so that's part of this project. We're running a gas service to the building, and that will include some concrete pavement removal out front. While we have that concrete pavement ripped up, we coordinated with the city, and we're putting in a tree pit as well. We're also installing a couple bike racks. There's no parking on site for this building, but on that sawtooth side, there is an alleyway, I guess, for lack of a better term, just to access the waste enclosures. So that's the only thing that will be occurring there vehicular-wise. We're installing a ornamental picket fence around the entire perimeter, so that's all gated and safe for the tenants. One of the things that came up at the ZBA meeting was the guardrail in the back of the building that borders the county property. We coordinated with Archie Wixon from Facilities directly. We're removing that guardrail and installing it just inside the county property line, and he confirmed that. And the reason we have to do that is so we can have the proper distance from our building to the fence for egress. And Joe, what was that dimension, do you remember? 44 inches, yeah. I mean, that guardrail is unfortunately just too close, so. Yes. Yeah, and that's really all of the site work. I can answer any questions you may have on some of those details.
Questions for the applicant?
So one of the issues is that with the conversion from office land use to dwelling multi-unit land use with 46 apartment units in it, that means this property is subject to the affordability requirement of 10% affordable units. I just want to make sure, because that, for some reason, that wasn't in the packet, so I want to make sure that you're aware of that those discussions had taken place. Great, thanks.
My turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the driveway, it's not even really a driveway, is it? Whatever that road is, that
Right.
looks like a road, is only for the dumpster.
Yes.
Did I understand that right?
Yep,
So
that's correct.
in, trash, out, trash. That's it.
That's it, yep.
Okay. Okay. And the 2 commercial spaces on Onondaga, I'm assuming they're. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Had to put a new RPZ.
Okay. And there's no planned tenant yet for the commercial space, or is there? Okay. Okay.
You've had your conversation with codes and city fire about the access fire trucks being able to get in and out of the parking lot in the event of emergency.
They're going to have to do exterior.
Okay. I know that changed. I'm just saying, we had a very narrow space up at the university for a thing called the Marshall. And I remember a space this big for the fire truck. Yeah, but that'll be a discussion.
Of the alleyway. Across the alleyway, Jeff? No, yes.
So no, that's the survey. There's a right at the second.
Okay, okay.
It's a double swing gate to match the ornament.
Okay.
It's to be determined how we code that if it's,
Yeah. How they're going to get through there.
Right, right. But we could have that accessible to the fire department.
Right, right. And I know Dash is not here, but is the contemplation market rate rent?
Other than.
With the
yes.
Affordability
Yes, with
provision?
affordability provision, correct.
It's certainly general good for the city to replace vacant office space with housing.
Yeah. Yes, there's a great need for housing and not so much for the office space yet. Maybe that'll change, but right now, no.
Housing first, office later.
Yeah, that's right.
Rentals?
Could-
Not
Rentals,
condo.
yeah.
There was
yeah.
some discussion of condo I had heard previously.
You know, this building's all condoed.
Yeah.
Every floor is a different.
Right.
Yeah, so-
Right. Right.
Yeah, I know we had
that.
discussed that before.
It'll be a one,
It'll be one ownership
and his.
and all
Yeah,
rentals.
and theirs, yeah, okay. And the green roof, you said, Joan, you're not going to have public access to that?
Correct.
You're
Yes.
never contemplating that, probably?
Well, it's because it's so high and,
Oh, there's no protection. Yeah.
so one stair, so right now, there's only one stair that goes up there.
Okay.
These stairs, they're not scissor stairs, they're two separate stairs, separating 2-hour enclosures, but they kind of look like a scissor stair. Only one of them goes to the roof. According to codes, we need another stair. So we could bring that other flight up, which wouldn't be a really difficult thing to do, but we could one day to get that so that we could use the roof, something that we've talked about, but right now, that's not
in the
not in the plans.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Could you summarize again, please, the exterior changes? I know they were minimal, and I know the Preservation Board has signed off, which by definition almost means they're minimal, but there were some windows in the back, and then the signage.
So we do have a sign drawing, but right in the back, so this is, if you were standing at Montgomery Street, you're looking through that parking lot, you can see this facade. There's windows here and there's windows here. We're adding these windows so that we create, there's going to be a living room right there. And then see these 3 windows on the first floor. They're a little higher because we didn't want to bring them right down to the, in case somebody was in there, but those are going to be windows. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you. Any further questions?
All set, thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward, provide your name, address, and comments. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. We have no speakers on this one. We will close public comment, turn our attention to the seeker review.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
The motion to issue a negative secret declaration?
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the seeker motion? If there's no discussion, all in favor of that motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries. We turn our attention to the major site plan review itself, MASPR 2026-17. Is there a motion for action on this?
In consideration of the application staff analysis and the discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application MASPR-2026-17 as presented with 7 conditions. 1, the applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval of the site plan application. 2, curbing and landscaping within the front setback shall be maintained to prevent vehicles from entering or parking within the public sidewalk area. 3, the applicant shall coordinate with the Onondaga County Department of Water Environmental Protection Flow Control Division for any infrastructure related to the disturbance of land within the county easement and include county-owned infrastructure must be on the related plans. 4, any commercial uses proposed in the front commercial space will require site plan review prior to occupancy. And the final 3 conditions are all related to the affordability criteria. 5, affordable dwelling units must comply with the city income and rent restriction regardless of a change in building property or ownership. 6, all affordable dwelling units must be certified by the City Department of Neighborhood and Business Development Administrative Procedures. And 7, the affordability requirement shall be effective for 30 years from the date of certification of occupancy is issued.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the motion before us for the major site plan review. If there's no discussion, then all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The major site plan review for MASPR 2026-17 is approved. Our next application, please. Thank you.
Next up is an off-premise sign permit application at 2810 Burnett Ave rear. This is in the Light Industrial Zone District.
I'm Amy Monahan from Lamar Advertising at 5947 East Malloy Road regarding an existing on-premise sign. We are just looking to upgrade, well, we're looking to replace the digital face that is at the existing location. The sign face is just at its end of life. It's been there since 2011, late 2011, and they generally only last about 10 years. I mean, we think of televisions nowadays, they just don't last the way they used to. And it is not particularly efficient anymore either, so we're looking to replace that sign and also renew the continuation of use permit.
So the only changes to the digital face?
Yes, there's no
change to
structural
the-
change, no height, nothing
Great.
else. It's literally just replacing the old face with a new face of same size.
What do you think is the life expectancy of the new equipment that you'll put in? Is that also 10 years, or who knows?
They actually say that the face that's on it right now, they said that it would last 7 years. So we've gotten 13 out of it. Our technicians are pretty good. I mean, they'll replace as much, they'll get as long as they possibly can. I mean, Lamar don't want to pay. Look, they don't want to pay if they can get away with fixing it, they're going to get away with fixing it as long as they can. The MRI boards that we have now have been lasting much longer. They are, we'll call them virtually indestructible. When I had a demonstration of them, they did actually set one on fire. We have, unfortunately, okay, look, nobody's here. We have had them struck with bullets in the city of Syracuse, and they have continued to work. We have had various damages and melting, and they have continued to work. They are getting virtually indestructible. They're also becoming more and more energy efficient, and I was explaining to the gents earlier, they're angling, they've learned now that they can angle the LED lights down so that it's creating less sky glow, so it's affecting migration of birds less. So they're doing more and more work in them. The technology, I've been working at Lamar for 10 years this year. The technology on these digital signs has changed so drastically in the time that I've worked there. So, I mean, Lamar are not going to as well. They don't want to throw their money. These screens are not cheap. You know, they're not throwing good money away on something that's only going to last them 7 years. They're trying to get as long as humanly possible out of them. So if we can do whatever we do to make it work as long as
Great, thank you.
hopefully we'll get another 13, if not longer.
Additional questions for the applicant? Thank you. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward, provide your name, address, comments. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Please come to the podium, provide your name, address, and comments. I don't see anyone rising to speak on either side, so we'll close the public comment, turn our attention to the seeker review.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 prepared by the applicant and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 2 prepared by staff and contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe that the proposed action will have a moderate to large impact under SECRA?
No.
No.
Having determined that the proposed action will not have a moderate to large impact, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the EAF Part 3 accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the seeker motion. If there's no discussion, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries, and we now turn to the off-premise sign permit application itself, which is AS 2026-2. Is there a motion for action on this?
In consideration of the application staff analysis and the discussion during this hearing, I make a motion to approve application AS-2026 as presented with 3 conditions. Those 3 conditions are: the applicant shall comply with the general conditions for approval of the off-premise sign application. 2, the applicant shall obtain appropriate approvals and permits from the New York State Department of Transportation for the proposed signage when necessary. And 3, this off-premise sign approval shall have a limitation of 10 years, after which renewal is required.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. And discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The sign permit application for AS 2026-2 is approved. Thank you. And we move to our other business items.
Last item, it's a 3-mile limit review, 3S-2026-6 at 4680 Tucker Road. We have the city engineer's approval on this.
Great, thank you. With that approval.
Yours?
Oh, oh, sorry you had to wait so long.
Okay, you're hired.
Welcome to come back anytime.
Well, we're going on a break now, so anyways, with the engineer's approval in hand, is there a motion for action on the 3-mile limit case in the town of Onondaga?
I make a motion to approve 3-2026-6 as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And discussion on this motion?
Off on this one, or is it pretty much already, okay, yeah.
You can if you
Not
like.
unless you want to prolong the evening for yourself.
Good night.
So if there's no discussion from the commission members, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The 3-mile limit in the town of Onondaga is approved. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. And we have one more item, I think, for this evening, and that's the annual election of officers for the commission. I don't know how we handle this.
You want me to make it?
Sure.
Oh, okay. I'd like to make a motion to nominate Steve Kulik as the chair of the commission and Walter Baller as the vice chair of the commission.
Second the motion.
Oh, thanks, Barry.
Quickly before it
And
changes.
you have nothing to say, I presume. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you to our colleagues.
Thank you very much.
And with that, if there's no other business to come before the commission, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? We're adjourned until June 8th. I get it right this time?
Yes,
Okay.
that'll be great.
Jake, this new thing,